Hola. Hi, good afternoon. We face an unprecedented technological revolution. If we go for a short walk around the MWC and we compare the MWC 22 with previous editions, a lot is going on. Blockchain, IoT, the addition of all new technologies are turning into a radically different digital reality. Furthermore, citizens, in the framework of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has had terrible impacts, but also as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's like if us all have traveled through the time machine and have accelerated digital transformation. Today, all of us accept that we're going to be working remotely. We know that we can have quality meetings online. We accept medical appointments through platforms. We all spend an important amount of money in digital services and products, and we have operated a change of mindset. We are much more ready to accept future changes, technological changes. In the slide, there's an example about it. TikTok has gained 1 billion customers only in 2 years. Part of the success that we have experienced over the last few years is justified in terms of our excellent quality fiber network. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of background noise here. So I said, our fiber network is a jewel of the crown in Europe. We have the best 5G deployment. 80% of Spain counts with 5G, and we are ready to deploy more in the upcoming years. And this has an impact on individuals and on companies. But we have to refer, well, to an asymmetric situation. There is a gap. Look at these figures. 2 persons who are born in the same village, who have the same degree of qualifications, who work in different companies but live in the same street and have a similar life, are going to have a radically different productivity depending on whether they work in a large corporation or if they are employed by an SME. And our country, Spain, is an SME company. 90% of companies are SMEs. More than 50% of jobs are produced by SMEs, and more than 50% of the GDP is produced by SMEs. So this gap, this asymmetry, is accelerated when large corporations have made the most of the pandemic to accelerate the digital transformation. Large corporations are present in the internet. Most of their transactions happen online. Most of their processes have been digitalized, and of course this entails a great deal of efficiencies. And of course they look for more and more efficiencies working in the cloud with more economic services. And SMEs, and of course Spain is a country composed by SMEs, they are above the average of the digital maturity in Europe. And what is the impact of what I'm saying? Well, this week, large corporations, IBEX 35, which is presenting outcomes, will present the highest outcomes in its history. Large corporations are levered on technology, diversifying a new business to keep growing. All of us here working for a large corporation know that we are programmed to lever on technology and capture new business, new adjacent business to keep growing. If we compare our situation with the situation of SMEs, well, 1 out of 6 SMEs have had to close after COVID-19. SMEs have experienced a reduction of its competitiveness, and of course, many reasons converge to understand this reality. But in-depth research tells us that SMEs with little digitalization capabilities have suffered the most. There is no doubt that this comes from, we're going to end up in a vicious circle that is going to condemn SMEs, but also large corporations, because our large corporations depend on citizens' purchase power and SMEs' competitiveness. So we need to help them. The presentation that our president shared with you in the presentation focused on collaboration. He insisted on the need to collaborate. And when we refer to SMEs and the impact of the lack of digitalization amongst SMEs, well, it means that we need to find a holistic framework with the different relevant stakeholders to promote a massive digitalization of SMEs. I'm here to tell you that we are at a turning point, and I believe we shall be optimistic, because for the first time, no matter who you vote for, no matter who you are, different organizations, employers, workers' organizations, we've reached an agreement. And the agreement is that SMEs need to get digitalized, because this would entail enormous benefits for the economy. And when I look around SMEs, I am happy to see that there are these European development funds. We are very lucky that an important amount of European funds will be invested in SMEs digitalization. There are 4.6 billion euros for digitalization projects. And then, of course, there are big objectives that we need to bear in mind, and those are: we need to support companies that go for disruptive technologies, big data, data management, cloud, AI. We need to support them. There are a series of initiatives to try and support sectors that have been badly hit by the pandemic, such as retail, tourism, and industry, which is a net contributor to GDP and job creation. Additionally, of course, we need talent. So the fourth axis is related to talent. We need to vet for digital agents that somehow shake companies, to force them to get digitalized. But I would like to refer to this program called Kit Digital. I don't know if you've heard of it. Believe me, in the upcoming days and weeks, you will be hearing from us. The program aims at providing SMEs, 1 million SMEs, with the necessary tools to start a digitalization process. The first stage will be for companies between 10 and 40 employees, and the first grants, that are very easy to apply for, by the way, will be paid as of March the 15th. It's a white paper where SMEs sign the document, and the public administration will gather the necessary information to make sure that there are no payment defaults, etc. in the SME. Everything is getting ready so that this digital bonus that will support SMEs getting digitalized will start. We have set up a series of Well, there's another important element, which is that the public administration has decided that this project is, it's not going to be a co-funded project. It's going to be for free for SMEs. There's a risk of people not valuing what they don't pay for, but in the case of Spain, it's key to go down this line in order to justify before Europe and commit before Europe to make sure that 1 million SMEs are digitalized soon. This is the government's objective. And you might ask yourself, what are the barriers? If it's so clear that SMEs need to get digitalized, why haven't they done so? And I could spend half an hour quoting different research where it is clearly concluded that SMEs sometimes don't know how to operate in terms of digitalization. Our SMEs have been extremely successful. If they are still here today, it means that they have been successful without the use of technology. Shoe manufacturers, well, their success is based on good suppliers, excellent customer care, a good delivery, a good stock management. So why using technology, right? You might be asking yourself, well, because there is a hidden cost that they don't see. And this is one of the main problems we have. Perhaps the economic barrier is not amongst the top issues. Everything is related to the support needed to enter a digitalization process. I'm going to quote, if you allow me, a report that we produced internally in the company. I'm going to quote a reference by a quote. I've read about a position, digital transformation expert. This would be my dream. Someone who will get to know my company, its needs, where we could get if we were digitized, what supplier to partner with to implement a digitalization process. So the rest could do what we do, which is selling more and better. I believe this is interesting, right? This is an interesting quote. But I would say, well, it's not easy to have one single digital agent that will train you all. Of course, a digital agent can help you being digitalized, but an interesting thing is to make sure that digitalization is expanded throughout the company, placing people at the center. But a couple of years ago, we understood that we had to implement a radically different strategy. Otherwise, we would fail. Today, digitalization is there. No one questions the importance of digitalization. Supporting SMEs in their digitalization process is more than a challenge. It's our commitment, because in Telefónica companies, we believe that digital transformation is the path to go so that SMEs in Spain enhance their growth. That's why we have developed Fusión Digital Pymes, a holistic solution, flexible solution that will support SMEs to get digitalized. No matter what your business is, we will adapt to your needs. Factories, clinics, sports centers, any company with 5 to more than 40 employees, We believe that SMEs deserve to benefit from all the opportunities of digitalization. Fusión Digital Pymes counts with the best possible connectivity thanks to our 5G network and fiber. Information and assets of your company will be always at your disposal and well protected thanks to our cybersecurity and cloud solutions. Why working only in one spot if you can work in several at the same time? We do not only digitalize your company's infrastructures, but also your staff processes in order to be more efficient and reduce cost and timings with the best possible collaborative solutions in terms of mobility. Why sticking to one window if you can be in several This will enhance your relationship with your customers and suppliers. It's the right time to go one step forward, become more competitive. Fusión Digital Pymes will help you support your business. We will support you throughout the process with the best experts in the field to ensure a smooth digitalization, tailor-made digitalization. More than 200,000 companies trust us. Business people, entrepreneurs, let's do this together. Nuevo Fusión Digital Pymes, Telefónica Empresas. Digitalization that really changes things. So, for me, what really matters is that we have transformed our digital offer. We're not speaking about a product or a service. We're speaking about an enabler that gathers communications and all the different needs that pymes face to have access to the digital economy, working in the cloud with all the efficiencies, becoming as productive as any large corporation, having the necessary safety solutions so that SMEs are 100% safe. We want to help you digitize your processes, CRM, RP, so that you have exactly the same innovation capacity and you are as agile as any large corporation. And let me tell you something more. It's not only that we have revolutionized our portfolio, we have disrupted and changed our commercial channels to adapt to what this gentleman told us. We have a team composed by 2,000 individuals. They are not commercial managers anymore. They are advisors who understand the needs of their customers so that remotely or face-to-face work with a specialist. They listen to SMEs' needs. They are consultants. They want to understand the degree of digital maturity of companies. They support the decision-making processes. They share tele-demonstrations, remote demonstrations to show them how the look and feel of their new company would be if they adopted these services. They support the provision, the delivery, and the post-sales. It's an end-to-end solution that transforms companies. You are not buying a service. You are buying from us the capacity we have of taking a company between 3 to 50 employees to give you all the necessary tools to get immersed in a digital transformation. This is a governance disruption that will give the company future guarantees. Listen, there's a lot at stake. I have announced that as if it were nothing. I'm here speaking, there's a lot of background noise and you can pay me attention or not. But believe me, as a society, there's a lot at stake because if things run smoothly, many companies will jump into the digital economy train. They will become much more efficient, competitive, agile. There will be more internationalization. We'll be able to sell outside our country. We'll compete with third parties that want to come here to beat us, and probably we will be capable of competing because digitalization, as it's happening in large corporations, contributes with efficiencies, productivity. Data management will allow SMEs to launch products and services in a very short time to market, and all these products and services will be customized. And once you have clearly understood the demand, your customers' demand, that is, so the addition of all these elements produces incredible efficiencies and economies of scale. There's no doubt that's a step Spain needs to do in 22 and 23. Let me tell you that the addition of all these elements, of all these parameters, has an additional element, and that is Telefónica's commitment with this project. You will see that in the upcoming days. For us, this is a top priority, and the message we want to convey is Telefónica is not going to let any SME behind. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm going to summarize all this in a short clip.
La digitalización de todo un país se merece una declaración de principios. Todos los presentes Empresarios, hosteleros, fábricas, inmobiliarias, explotaciones agrícolas, despachos, comercios, talleres, clínicas. Sois fundamentales. Ningún empresario, ninguna pyme se puede quedar atrás. Si habéis conseguido llegar hasta aquí, es porque habéis sido capaces de reaccionar, reinventar vuestros negocios en un momento tan difícil para todos. Si habéis hecho lo imposible por salvar lo vuestro, mantener a todo un país en movimiento, ¿qué no vais a poder conseguir? La digitalización nos está abriendo nuevas puertas, nuevas oportunidades y retos, y tenéis todo el derecho a avanzar mucho más.
And you have the right to go forward, to improve your business, to be better connected. You have the right to offer your services here and there. We're done with limitations today. A greenhouse can be as efficient as a startup, bringing tomatoes from the field to the table in less than 24 hours, having as many windows as you can imagine. Today, everything is changing. The benefit of a hotel is measured by its reviews, and the first step for success has to do with being the first one in your customers' online searches. In the era of immediateness, you have the right to be everywhere and be as big as you desired. It's the right time to let our technology do what you do best. Because if you work together, we'll be capable of everything tomorrow. The European next generation funds arrive to keep enhancing the digitalization of our companies, and in Telefónica Empresas, we are committed to doing our most to make it a reality. It's about your business, it's about our future, and about a country's future. Businessmen, businesswomen, entrepreneurs, let's do this together. Because together everything is possible, the digitalization that really changes things. Telefónica Empresas.
Bueno, parece ser que hay al menos una pregunta.
So it seems I have one question coming from the metaverse, and it says, Telefónica digitalizes SMEs with an innovative and disruptive experience. Do you count on the participation of third parties, or do you operate with your own resources? Well, it is true that we have designed our own service, but of course, it's important to understand that we operate as an integrator, and at least 50% of these services are offered by third parties. So 50% of the turnover produced in this process will be distributed amongst other companies looking for synergies. We need to go for a win-win scenario. It would be extremely paradoxical that SMEs digitalization happens without taking them into account. So it's interesting that 50% of the turnover can be distributed amongst other companies, which most of them are SMEs. Thank you.